So they had to fight, and if they hadn't fought, they would have been wiped out. In fact, most of the persuasion to fight is in connection with the expedition to Tabuk, in which they thought the Roman Empire was going to get them, and they were so scared they didn't want to go. It was very hot as well. So all the persuasion was actually related to that. And then when they got there, they didn't have to fight anybody because the Roman army didn't turn up, and they just made friends with the people on the border. It says in the Quran, those who have been attacked are permitted to take up arms because they have been wrong. Peace is best. Next one, please. In the Quran it says peace is best. This is actually said in the context of warring married couples, and they're trying to divorce each other and they're trying to get them to reconcile and say peace is best. It says that in other places where it implies that. As I said, the first thing that you find about Muslims, they greet each other with greeting of peace, and this is predicted in the Quran to be the greeting of people in paradise. As-salam is a name of one of the names of Allah, peace. If people don't fight you and offer you peace, then God gives you no way against them. The Muslims were afraid that they would be attacked in the sacred mosque and wanted advice on whether they should fight them because it was prohibited. In the Quran it says, do not fight them at the sacred mosque unless they fight you there. If they do fight you, this is what such disbelievers deserve, but if they adopt them, God is merciful and merciful. So, all this passage is quite long one, and every time it says you can fight back, it says, but only if they stop, only if they say, you have to fight in their God, and remember God, don't overstep the limit, that's 2:190. Do not wrong your souls in these months, though you may fight idolaters anytime if they first fight you. Remember that God is with those who are mindful of Him. And another place, it tells the Muslims not to lose heart, don't lose heart, and cry out for peace. It is you who have the upper hand, and that's in the context of believers have the upper hand, even if they lose what they have. It says, God is with you, He will not begrudge you the reward for your good deeds. The life of this world is only a game and pastime, but if you believe and are mindful of God, He will recompense you. And another place it says, do not lose heart or despair. If you're true believers, you have the upper hand. So even if you don't think things are going very well in this world, they might go better than the next. You're on the right path, the path right when you died, and so on. So, we'll go with that justification. The quality of the true believer is steadfastness. And the first part of the Prophet's mission, he was in Mecca and his group was very small. They were attacked, they were persecuted, they did not fight back. And they were told to be sabir, which is patient. Be patient, be steadfast, stick to your ground. So you didn't have to understand, but to be steadfast. And not to fight in anger. There was a hadith of a peasant Prophet Muhammad, Ali, with him. He was about to go and kill a man in battle, but the man spat at him. And Ali stopped and let him go. He asked why Ali hadn't killed him, and Ali replied that he would not kill the man out of anger. The man was so impressed that he became a Muslim. The point here is that Muslim holds back his sword until he can overcome his own impulse of vengeance. The individual and human motive can strike only when he can strike God. there's an incident where somebody killed, he knocked me and said, "Assalamu alaikum" to Muslims, and Prophet rebuked them, and the Quran rebuked them. So, be careful when you go out to fight in God's way. Do not say to someone who offers you a greeting of peace, "You are not a believer," out of desire for chance into this life. God has plenty of gains for you. You yourself are in the same position once, but God was gracious to you, so be careful. God is fully aware of what you do. In the example of the Prophet Muhammad, after he'd gone through various battles, he had a dream. So that he was going on pilgrimage to Mecca because they'd been expelled from Mecca by then and were living in Medina. And so a very likely armed group, quite a large group, went off with him towards Mecca to do the pilgrimage. And they were met when they were nearly there by some people from Mecca. And they tried to provoke them, but they stood still and refused to be provoked. And this is the very first example I know in history where people have gone on a non-violent march and refused to be provoked. As a result of that, the Americans made peace with them, and as a result of that peace, many people were very important. Many leaders became Muslim and joined the leaders. And in the Quran, this is an example of repelling evil with good. In the Quran says in many places, Muslims are those who repel evil with good, and it's a very, very effective tactic. Unless you can replace the evil with something better, then you're not achieving anything by fighting. And you can do it without fighting as well. The next slide is justice. In the Quran we're urged to stand up for justice, whether it's against ourselves or our friends or our family, and not to let our feelings sway us away from justice. Justice should be tempered with mercy. The word retribution is something that comes up a lot in fighting retaliation. I think we use retribution as bloodless antagonistic retaliation. It says in the Torah, in the Quran says this, in the Torah, we prescribe for them a life for a life, an eye for an eye, a nose for a nose, an ear for an ear, a tooth for a tooth, and an equal wound for a wound. If anyone forgoes that charge, it will serve as an atonement for his bad deeds. Those who do not judge according to what God has revealed are doing great wrong. So, this is a law from the Torah, which means that we should not respond disproportionately to someone injuring you. If they give you a wound, you don't back to kill them. If they drop a bomb, you don't go and massacre the whole town. It's a law of equality. So, the proportionality, and this is part of the just war theory. If you read just war theory, you'll find proportionality is one of the main bases on which just war is judged. So, when it's a murder case, the same sort of principle applies in the Quran. Fair retribution is prescribed in cases of murder, the free man for the free man, the slave for the slave, the female for the female. But if the guilty is pardoned by his agreed brother, this shall be reviewed fairly, and the culprit shall pay what is due in a good way. This is an alleviation from your Lord and an act of mercy. Anyone then exceeds these limits grievously.